What is going on? I'm your host, so glorious and beloved Mace Valor. It is my son's birthday today. He turns 4 years old, and his brother turns 11 next week. So, woo! So far, so good. Man, it's like, all right, there. I think we're good. So happy anniversary as well. The shelter turns 1 year old today. Is when the digital release of the book, physical copy came a week later, the 23rd of November, also known as the day of the reset, for those of you that have read the novel. Wow. So a lot of crazy things going on. Still working to get content to you guys. So got some stuff finished up, but I'm not ready to put it out until I'm ready to where it's more consistent. So I've essentially got back burner stuff. There's another one that I'm working on that my vision for it is slightly changed. So I don't know, I'm gonna kind of go through the footage and see what I want to make of it. So that's another thing that I've been hoping to do. I can't find my hard drive with a lot of my older videos on it, but there's a lot of older videos that I've made that, well, videos that I recorded that I didn't make anything of. And I think enough time has gone on now to where I can probably do that. So but, you know, today I'm feeling a little queasy is the word. I'm not feeling too good physically. I'm not like sick or anything, but I think it's just because I took my meds this morning, but I didn't eat breakfast with it. So I'm just like, my body's like, oh my God, just kill me now. And like all morning I've been driving around doing last minute stuff for the birthday party. So hi! What's up? Am I good? Yeah, there we go. There's people out here driving. Assholes! Oh my God. Yeah, I don't stream a whole lot anymore. Because I just feel like I don't have a whole lot to say. As far as Twitch, man, it's just, I don't know, it's just, Twitch is just weird. I mean, when there's people in there, it's great. I love it. I could be on for hours. But then when there's no one there, it's like, it's just a drag. You know, it's like I've never gotten that out of my mind. It's like if I'm doing this, I want it to be fun. You know, and the whole premise is to do with people around. You know what I mean? People come up and watch the VODs. So YouTube I might save for more constructed content in the next few months. And, you know, transition back over to Twitch being the home for the live streams, which that's the plan, and I have no problem doing it. I just need to kind of get my shit together and get it done. When I cooked, yeah, I liked it too. I did. And that's another thing I have, is I have a ton of videos of me cooking that I have been going through and making sure that it's good for you guys. So, a couple things have changed on those projects because those were initially designed to be like a continuous thing, whereas now it's like, well, maybe they're more one-offs. So I've had to re-edit them, so it's not like you're expecting the next one, you know. Just kind of like, hey, I made these, I enjoy them, I'm gonna throw them out there. And even when I recorded them, they weren't like the best in the world because, you know, you feel kind of rushed. So I had fun with them. I really did. I think there's like, what, 4 or 5 videos I could show you guys about just cooking. Very simple stuff too. Some of them are army things. And another thing too, it's like depending on how I Yeah, depending on how I edit it will depend on your and Army thing. Oh yeah. Well, see, I don't know if I want the cooking videos. I could swing one of two ways. I could just have them be light, fun-hearted videos with little to no instruction, just kind of like, oh, here's me cooking or whatever, right? Or I could set it up to where it's like a tutorial. Then that's what hits me. It's like when it's tutorialized, it's no longer enjoyable for me, like as a content creator. You know, I'm just making a how-to video, and for me, that doesn't feel very good. So I think I'm gonna do my own spin on it. Yeah, I use LumaFusion on the iPad. It works great. It's the closest to Premiere that I can get. Like I essentially grew up using Premiere, you know. So editing wise, it's just I know it. I've used Filmora before. I don't like touch controls very well. So the cool thing with the iPad is that you can hook you have the Magic Pencil or the Apple Pencil, but I use my mouth is also Bluetooth, so I could just Bluetooth it. 37, nice. I am 30, definitely feeling it. Yeah, I'll do exactly what I want to do. That's not gonna change. Is this guy? I don't know what this guy's doing. See, one of the reasons why I'm such a passive driver is because so many drivers I hear drive like shit. And it's like, I don't know how many people ran red lights and stop signs today while I've been out. It's just too many to count. Like, the hell was that? I started watching you for TaskRabbit. Oh, thank you. Yeah, looking back, see, the thing with my TaskRabbit jobs is like, there's a couple that I filmed and they're on my hard drive, which I don't know where it's at, but I think there's only one that actually filmed me being on the job to kind of give you guys some eye candy or whatever. But looking back, I would have done that a lot more. Just kind of set up a couple cameras just to record while I'm working and then just make something out of it, you know? It's like literally put minimal effort in the filming process, but put extra effort in the editing process to make it enjoyable. Looking back, I definitely would have done that a lot more, but I didn't, so oh well. And that's because a lot of my jobs, it's like I had enough time to get in, get the job done, and move on to the next one. I didn't have a whole lot of time to be setting up cameras and shit. You know, especially when, you know, money was tight and the only camera I had was my phone, and I, you know, need to use my phone as I work, like talk to other clients or, you know, take pictures of the work that I'm doing, and, you know, trying to film with that one camera, the whole process just wasn't going to work. So, but I have footage somewhere, and I think moving forward, I do want to work on a lot more video. That's like my thing for 2020. I need at least one video a week. And that's why I'm making a backlog right now. Did I? Oh my God. I went out to go get a Diet Coke, but I literally just made a giant loop and came back home. It's like, wow, like that's how out of it I am today. Oh my God. Well, it gives us more time to hang out, I guess. Oh, that was really weird. I got so caught up in the conversation, I just was focusing on driving and not where I was actually going. Sometimes I do really stupid shit. So I found a solution for the podcast, which I don't want to give you guys false promises or anything, but within the next, I should say about 2 weeks, you guys should get something pretty good, so. I'm excited for it. And it's not going to be just a solo Mace thing, you know, because as much as I hate working with people, you know, when it comes to creative stuff, I'm all about it. You know, I think that you get similar creative minds together, they can make something wonderful. It gives you kind of a push, you know, a drive. Kind of like, you got to look at it like it's work, you know. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. That's why I'm excited to move, and excited for fucking COVID to no longer be a thing, so my son could go back to school. So while he's in school, my job is my whole writing and all that stuff. What's up, Gig Stacker, dude? And Jack is here. Whoa. And, well, Foibles, of course. And then Kapow. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Dude, life's been good. Life's been good. It's weird. It's like, COVID has been a fucking disaster all across the board. But I've been really lucky. So I'm trying to be grateful for my position in life when it could be a lot worse given the circumstances. So 4K, what's up? And Jack, dude, it's always nice to hear from you, man. Yeah, life has been crazy. I spent the first like half of the year up in Washington, and then, you know, because I decided to go up there to visit right as COVID started. Fucking, not like I knew it was coming, but you know, we heard whispers and shit. You heard whispers and stuff, and then, you know, I needed to go up. I was gonna go up in April, but then like emergencies or whatever, I had to go up a lot sooner, so I did. Yeah, COVID does blow, and here's the thing about COVID though. It's like, you gotta, like, I'm trying to find the silver lining in the disaster, and the silver lining of COVID is there are certain things now that are coming to light that a lot of people didn't realize before. You know, I think more so now than ever, when in terms of like economics and finances, our government is a fucking disaster. Okay, you know, it's like me, a long time Trump supporter. This COVID has kind of made me more questionable about him. You know, about, well, that doesn't really have anything to do with COVID to me. Hell, I voted for the motherfucker, but I'm still kind of pissed off that, like, every time I see something, I mean, I kind of laugh at it. I mean, I love Trump, right? But he is so fucking childish right now. It's like, all right, dude, you fucking lost. Can you just fucking get off Twitter for a few days, say congratulations to the other guy, then fucking move on? Like, you know, I mean, they're just going to pull the 25th Amendment in 6 months and remove him from office, and then we'll have our first female president. So I don't know what everyone's tripping about, you know? Which, that I'm actually excited for. I'm excited to see the reindeer games of them, you know, finding a way to get Joe out of office. His own people, is what I'm saying. Because that is more than likely going to happen. You know? It's like, this is like the craziest episode of Black Mirror I've ever seen. Well, that and the one where the dude had to fuck a pig. That was crazy, too. But, yeah, I'm getting off on a tangent. Yeah, so definitely one thing that... Trump's a big-ass babe. And here's the thing, man. I don't like saying that because it's like, this is the guy that I voted for fucking twice. But then saying this, it's like, I was actually even... Here's the thing. No Joe. No Joe. There's no way in hell I was going to vote for Joe. And when you look at policies and what the different people have done while they've been in public service... I tip my head to Trump. At least for me, from my vantage point in the world, yeah, go Trump. However, one of the things that really pissed me off, and I was this damn near close to not voting for him, was the fact that the whole HEROES Act, because we had the CARE Act, and then the HEROES Act was being proposed, and then in the middle of proposing the HEROES Act, because Congress was fucking around with it and putting stuff in that he didn't want, and he was like, oh no, blah 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 blah, and they were going back and forth on giving fucking funds, you know, more PUA funds, more PPP loan funds, you know, more funds, you know, for extended unemployment, and all these different things. And then Trump was like, I'll take care of it once I win the election, like dangling a carrot in front of people. So that it's like, you're the leader of the executive branch. You can make an executive order for immediate funding. You can do that. There's nothing that you can make an order for just a stimulus check and send it out without Congress saying yes, no, or indifferent. They can fight you after the fact. That's fine. The whole purpose of like the CARES Act and the HEROES Act is that it was something that was a little bit more ironclad, but the downside of it is they threw a bunch of loopholes, or it wasn't completely fleshed out. So I know, like, out here, my representative in my district, Susie Lee, her and her husband owns a chain of casinos, not just in Vegas, but also I think Michigan, small gaming commission or whatever, right? She knew about the fucking closure before everyone else did because she's in Congress. So her and her husband, they fucking dumped off a lot of stock, insider trading, right? And then at the same time, prior to the PPP loans being out, her husband was able to fill out a form for a PPP loan, and then as soon as it was released, was able to submit it and be the first in line for a $10 million loan that didn't have to be repaid. Well, at the same time, laying off a shit ton of his workers, because the way the PPP loan was, if you have only 500 employees or less, you're allowed to apply for it. That's why people like the NBA were able to apply for it, because of the people that they chose. Oh, these are our employees, not these other people that we employ. As far as our company goes, it's just these like core group of people, you know. And there's a lot of companies that were doing that, like Shakey's. They only included the people of their board members, right? It's like, oh yeah, but they're a franchise, so we're not going to look at like all the franchisees we have. That's like a weird contract thing, you know. Like there were so many crazy weird loopholes for people to take advantage of the PPP system. It really screwed everyone over, and the people that made the money, that got the money out of it, were people that kind of, you know, didn't need it in the first place. And it's unfortunate because on paper, yeah, that was meant for like the mom and pop shops. It wasn't meant for places like Amazon. It wasn't meant for places like fucking Walmart. It's crazier. Well, that's the thing, because Congress, I have to pull it up, but I'm fucking driving, so I don't want to say it wrong. But essentially, Congress kind of came together and said, "Oh no, it's okay. We're going to forgive those people." So all the companies that took PPP loans that weren't supposed to get them, they forgave them. It's like, well, technically on paper you were allowed to do it, but you shouldn't have, because that's not who it was designed for. But we're gonna not get you in trouble for it. And same with the insider trading, because it was mainly fucking Congress that did this, not just the Democrat Susie Lee that's out here. It was a lot of them off-sold stock ahead of time, you know, to benefit. It was so many of them, they came together and forgave themselves so they wouldn't get in trouble for it. Isn't that wonderful? And that's not a right, left, or whatever thing. That's an everybody thing. You know, it just so happens that my congressional district leader just happens to be a Democrat.
Hi, thank you for choosing my Del Taco. My name is Dylan. What do we make it fresh?
Yeah, can I get a large Diet Coke, please?
Gotcha. What large diet for you?
And a large raspberry tea.
Alright, one large raspberry, one large diet.
And then a bean and cheese burrito with green sauce, and that'll be it.
Alrighty. And on that, did you want to add any delicious donut bites or churros for just $1 today?
No thanks.
Okay. We'll have that total for you at $7.01 today, okay?
Okay. Yeah, so that's the thing, the good thing I only have 5 people working on my weed fields. But no, like that's, so you want to take a look at an industry that's relatively small and booming, the marijuana industry. You know, yeah, you got to have like field hands, essentially. You got to have people that, you know, botanists that can actually grow this shit properly. There's not a ton of people that are well versed in growing marijuana. So obviously that's going to be a small business. It's not crazy huge industrialized. I can see, this is Sims. Yo, my boy! That's what I'm talking. Okay, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Lawrence Admirals basketball is someone I'm going to be doing a project with, and y'all will see him and hear him and his wonderful voice and antics. But you guys are going to love it. Got great stuff coming out. I don't know. It's just irritating. Anyway, so yeah, Gig Stacker, if you're still here, COVID, man, COVID's nuts, and it's opened our eyes to so many things. It's opened our eyes that our government can't handle money. It's that corporations, even in a time like this, they put on the facade that they give a fuck about us when they really don't. Like my current trip to Party City for my son's birthday stuff today alone. Good?
Big sauce for your burrito?
Oh, no thanks.
Large raspberry tea.
Appreciate it. yeah, so like, for example, it showed us like all those years of people saying, hey, things are getting kind of rough right now. Is there any way I can do my work from home? Oh, absolutely not. You need to be here, right? Because that's like that's the thing that's been set in stone. It's like you work your 9 to 5 at a fucking brick and mortar location, right? Oh yeah. It's been trash everywhere. And it's not just the government though. I want to remind everyone that we as citizens have a part to play in this as well. See, I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, COVID's not a fucking thing, right? It's just make believe. I think it's a real thing, but our response to it collectively, not just our government, but us as citizens as well, you know, it's kind of been like, whatever, you know? But then I can go all sorts of different directions on it, you know? It's like, yeah, there's this virus that's going around that's hurting people, and, you know, to protect the few people that could die from it, everyone suffers, right? Everyone's stuck at home, everyone's quarantined. And then people get disgruntled. It's like, well, if someone, like, if I won't get it, if I get it and I'll be fine, why am I being punished, right? It's like, okay, I get that. But if you get it and pass it on to someone else, then you're responsible for that person dying, you know? Well, not, you know what I mean? It's like, it's on your conscience that had you done your part, and you could argue both sides of like all of it at the end of the day, right? But the number one way I think it's been trash for us is how they've handled, the government's handled like the economy when it comes to this. Because, you know, quarantining, closing down businesses, we got another stay-at-home order recently. The governor of Nevada now has COVID. Like, he closed the city down, he closed the state down, and then the next day we found out he had COVID. So he fucking knew he had COVID before he shut the shit down. That's why he shut the shit down. Because it was gonna come out that he had COVID anyway. So, tinfoil hat time, right? So, but we learned that, you know, we don't need there's a lot of jobs that you don't need to physically be at that job for. If your job's in like customer service or hospitality or what, like, there's so many jobs you can do over the phone. Not hospitality, why did I say hospitality? But there's a lot of jobs you can do over the phone. You can do from your computer. You know, you don't have to physically be in the same location. You know, and it even helps like companies. If you're a company, right, but your physical location is just like an address for whatever, but everyone works from home, you know, then you're not paying that overhead. You're not paying that overhead of like, oh, well, I have to rent out this building for several $1,000s a month, so I have to pay the costs on that, the electric on that, all that stuff. I don't have to fuck with that. People work from home, the company saves money. In which case, the people should get paid more. You know, you would think, you know. But we handled it all fucked up, man. We forced people not to go to their jobs. We made it to where people were forced to lose their jobs. Our government forced people to not be able to work. And then because they couldn't work, because the government made it so that they couldn't work, the government fucking drug ass on compensating them. Oh my God. Okay, that's a great line. And that's something about the whole Trump thing that really pissed me off. It's like that second stimulus, which we should have gotten months ago. And this is coming from someone that doesn't even need the stimulus. It's because, yeah, I'm relatively conservative. I don't fucking believe in handouts. I think it's fucking stupid. However, given the current circumstance, the government closed our shit down. The government was the reason why the government's shutdown is why, or the government forcing people to shut shit down is the reason why people got laid off and people don't have jobs. And otherwise they could work, right? So given that chain of events, the government is then responsible because these people would be working otherwise. You know, these are people that their entire livelihoods have just been completely uprooted, and it's completely unfair not to cover them for this, you know? That's what pisses me off. So that's what pissed me off about Trump, about him trying to dangle it over people's heads. It's like, dude, there are fucking people out there that can barely feed their fucking kids right now. Okay, there are people out there that, you know, that can't even fucking pay rent, you know? And then you have like the moratorium and stuff, which that's another rabbit hole. It's like, all right, so people don't have to pay rent for the time being because of this crazy shit. They can't be evicted for not paying rent because of the situation. But what about the landlords? What about the people that's how they make their money? Are you gonna give them a break on property tax? No. Shit rolls downhill, okay? And Oh my god. The whole thing's just a fucking mess, dude. Anyway. I birthday stuff to do, so I will be around. Thank you, Jack. Jack Simpson, Jamal, Gig Stacker, everybody that came by. Thank you guys so much. It was a nice little. My son just turns 4 today, so I'll be putting pictures. Follow me on Instagram at Mace Valor, and you guys will see all that great fun shenanigans today. As always, it's hero so glorious and beloved Mace Valor signing off. Oh yeah, I'll let the boys know Uncle Tim says hi.